If you know who this is, then you know who this is. This is YNW Melly. You know, he has been locked up for the longest time, waiting to go to trial. Okay. Now, unfortunately for him, they got the death penalty on the table. And unfortunately for him, the judge just said that they can go by the new rules down there in Florida where he don't need a unanimous decision to get the death penalty. He only need 8-4. That's all he need. He don't everybody normally when you get the death penalty or when you facing the death penalty, like even if you're found guilty, everybody has to say, okay, he needs to get the death penalty. But no, 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 no. That's not what the judge did. He has lowered the threshold. It says rapper YNW Melly double murder trial is expected to start June 12th. Now, remember, he's accused of killing two of his best friends. It's a lot of rumors going on about that. They said he killed his two best friends, tried to set up the crime scene like they had a drive-by shooting and everything. And then there's reports coming out that they was trying to kill his mom or they slept with his mom. It's a whole mess. But we're gonna find out exactly what happens when the trial actually goes on. But it says YNW Melly's double murder trial is expected to start June 12th after a judge on Friday lowered the threshold for a death sentence should he be convicted. The Broward County, the Broward Circuit Judge John Murphy granted the state prosecutors motion to follow a new law that allows jurors to recommend a death sentence with an 8-4 vote instead of a unanimous vote. The push to reduce the Florida's death penalty threshold was inspired by the convicted Parkland school shooter not getting the death penalty due to a split jury. Now, remember that person, he shot up everybody and they wanted him to get the death penalty. But, half the jury said sure, half the jury said no. Because you got some jurors that just don't believe in the death penalty, regardless of how heinous the crowd may be. The crime may be. And then it goes on to say YNW Melly is best known for his hit song "Murder on My Mind." Was arrested of 2 counts of first-degree murder on February 13th, 2019. That's the day before Valentine's Day. You supposed to be out here with a nice woman, going out on a nice date, having a nice night of love. But nah, he done got arrested and been locked up ever since. It says he been locked up ever since, despite his efforts to get released at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Everybody was trying to get out when COVID-19 came. The 24-year-old death penalty case is among the first, considering after the change, the 8-4 vote to recommend a death sentence is the lowest threshold in the country. They trying to send this person up the river. It says, what does it say? In the early mornings of October 26, 2018, co-defendant Cortland Henry rushed into Memorial Hospital emergency room. According to court records, he told the medical staff that 2 men were shot inside his 2018 Jeep Compass. A Miramar police officer found Anthony Williams, 21, in the front passenger seat with a gunshot wound to his head and torso, and Christopher Thomas Jr., 19, in the right rear passenger seat with a gunshot wound to his back and head. They were already dead. The Henry court records recounted their whereabouts that night. He told the police that the trio had left the New Era recording studio in Fort Lauderdale when a car pulled up next to them in Miramar Parkway and opened fire. Williams and Thomas, both aspiring rappers, went by YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie. Amid the gunfire, Henry lowered his body. He told police to shield himself. He sped towards the nearest hospital. The moment he knew his friends were struck by a stray of bullets. And it say police scoured the area where Henry said the shooting took place, but didn't turn up any evidence matching Henry's account. According to court records, they came across a witness who said he was at the recording studio with Henry, Thomas, and Williams and Melly that night. Surveillance video captured all four men hopping into the Jeep with Melly sitting in the left rear passenger seat. That's where police later uncovered a single .40 caliber shell casing tucked inside a white plastic bag, the court records reveal. After looking at the blood inside the bullet-riddled Jeep, police began to suspect that Williams and Thomas were shot inside the SUV, according to court records. Cell phone data also placed Melly, Thomas, and Williams together throughout the night. Court records show investigators located evidence, including another .40 caliber shell casing and glass matching the Jeep on an isolated patch of Pembroke Road. Projectile um, analysis determined it to be unlikely for the barrage of bullets to hit the SUV while in motion. According to court records, the autopsy suggested that the shots came from the left rear passenger side where Melly was caught on tape sitting earlier that night. Police believe that Henry and the rapper drove around with Williams and Thomas' bodies for a while before entering the hospital. At some point, Melly got out of the Jeep, according to court records. Melly's girlfriend and mother told investigators that he called them via FaceTime that night and said he was the victim of a drive-by shooting that left two of his friends dead. The mother of Melly's girlfriend, who was present during the FaceTime, said it looked like he was hiding and wanting to be picked up. YNW Melly came into the public eye in 2019 with his double platinum song, Murder on My Mind, which he initially released on SoundCloud. He would go on to collaborate with several popular artists, such as Kanye West, Juice WRLD, and Trippie Redd, and released his debut album, Melly vs. Melvin, while locked up. Now listen, this is a person that had the whole world at his fingertips. He was blowing up. He was doing major collaborations with all the hottest artists, but then something went wrong. Something went crazy. And they said that he popped his two best friends and then tried to come up with this whole elaborate story about what really happened about a drive-by. And they saying wasn't no drive-by at all. So we're going to see what happens with him. His trial is finally scheduled to start June 12th. Let's see how long it takes. Let's see if he's found guilty. Let's see if he's found innocent. Let's see if he gets the death penalty. Like always, remember, no matter what goes on in life, facts remains the same. There's no game but tie game.